Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to explain how attack cancelling in Risk of Rain 2 can help you maximize your DPS and feel like a badass while doing it. What is attack cancelling? For some quick context, attack or animation cancelling involves performing an action during the startup or recovery of another action to skip the recovery frames or to perform the attacks together. In this video I'll be covering the Huntress, a high mobility glass cannon that can make great use of attack cancelling to increase her burst damage and skip the recovery of her arrows and laser glaives. All frame counts for moves should be accurate to within a frame or two, and assume your game is running at 60 frames per second. Let's get started. Huntress's first primary move is Strafe, in which she fires arrows consistently while sprinting. With base attack speed, this move has about 13 frames of startup before the projectile spawn and becomes independent from the Huntress. After this, there are 20 frames of recovery before the startup for the next arrow begins. Strafe can be cancelled by any of the Huntress's moves at any time during its duration, but to maximize her DPS, you'll want to use her secondary or special moves right as the projectile leaves her bow at frame 13, replacing the 20 frames of recovery with more damage. Using blink while in the animation for a strafe shot will pause the animation until the blink is complete, where it will then finish the strafe animation no matter how far you are from your target. This allows you to fire arrows from out of range or backwards through your own body. This doesn't cancel the startup or recovery of the move, but it can be useful for dodging attacks while keeping up your damage. Phase Blink is unique in that the animation for Strafe will continue during the teleports, allowing you to fire continuously while dodging. No matter what direction you're moving or how many blinks you use, the arrows will fire as if you were moving normally. Huntress's second primary is Flurry, a burst of 3 arrows with a much longer 36 frames of startup, 15 active frames, and 29 frames of recovery. If you crit Flurry, 6 arrows will spawn instead, with 36 frames of startup, 21 active frames, and 24 frames of recovery. The last arrow projectile spawns around frame 51 of the 80 frame total, and it is there that you'll want to cancel into another move to save the half second of recovery. Be careful though, as cancelling Flurry into laser glaive too early can result in only 1 or 2 of the arrows spawning. Blink works the same with Flurry as it does with Strafe, so blinking during the startup of Flurry will result in the arrows spawning after the blink is completed. You can also use Phase Blink while firing Flurry without the move being interrupted. Using either special move during the startup of Flurry will pause the animation until the Huntress is up in the air selecting her target. The arrows will then come out on frames 34 to 52 while you select your target, adding a nice little burst of damage to your special. The Huntress's secondary skill is Laser Glaive, a projectile that bounces up to 5 times. It has a 42 frame startup before the projectile spawns with a 28 frame recovery. Using the Laser Glaive will cancel sprinting, but you can sprint again at any point during the animation to be at full speed when the move is over. Blink can be used at any point during the animation, pausing the animation until the blink is complete. This lets you throw the laser glaive from out of range or backwards through your own body. Blinking after the projectile is spawned lets you move while recovering. Using Phase Blink doesn't affect the animation for laser glaive, so you can dodge freely during the startup and recovery of the move. Using either special during the startup of laser glaive will pause its animation as early as frame 9 and have the glaive come out while you're in the air during the special, allowing for a nice burst of damage. Using a special after the glaive projectile has spawned cancels out the glaive recovery completely. Huntress's 2 specials are Arrow Rain and Ballista, and when it comes to their frame data they function about the same. Both specials have about 40 frames of startup where the Huntress teleports into the air and a target can be selected. As soon as the special is fired you can perform any action. Both specials can be cancelled by Blink after the startup if you need an emergency escape. Phase Blink however drops you back to the ground without using a Phase Blink charge. To sum it up, try to cancel the recovery of Strafe and Flurry into your laser glaives as often as possible. The big damage will come from cancelling Flurry's recovery into a glaive and instantly going into your special, firing off all 3 moves at once and letting you attack immediately on the way down. Combine these tricks with some extended mags, brain stocks, or a hard light afterburner to really give the Huntress some extra pop and help take down some beefy bosses quickly. Equipment can be used at any time during any move without affecting what you're doing, so don't be afraid to fire off that capacitor or saw blade while aiming your special. And that's it for the Huntress. Thanks so much for watching. If you learned something new, like the video, and be sure to subscribe because guides for the rest of the survivors are coming soon. I also stream live at twitch.tv/JamesInGames. I'll be doing more research for these videos as well as having some fun grinding through clips on all the characters. Till next time, thanks again for watching.